everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rachel Anita and I like to do videos on ADHD, mental health, finances, my life, just really about anything. Today we're going to be doing a video about my finances and why this specific way that I do it kind of fits in with my ADHD and helps me better take care of my finances. We're going to go over what I spent last month as a 28-year-old person in a relationship with someone and homeowner. So that's where we're going to go. But first we're going to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Magicmine. I've been working with Magicmine for over a year now, I think, and I first was pretty skeptical of their product. There's a lot of like quick fix drinks out there, but when I looked into the ingredients and what they actually have inside, I was actually really surprised because they have a lot of ingredients that I have taken myself. If you know my history, you know I struggle with brain fog and chronic fatigue and motivation issues and all this different stuff. And I had begun taking a lot of these ingredients before I even tried Magicmine. So I was definitely open to trying it, and I've definitely been sold on it now. The packaging is really cute. You can order a subscription and there's tons of drinks. I just pulled out that one as a new one because there's only one drink left here, so we'll use that. And this is what the drink looks like. It is full of great ingredients such as matcha, adaptogens, nootropics, and immunity. So some of the ingredients that it has inside of it are lion's mane mushroom, ashwagandha, which a lot of us have heard of, curcumin, which helps with inflammation, and lion's mane, cordyceps. It's like subtly sweet, tastes pretty good, and what I do typically in the morning is I get my decaf coffee because I can't really have caffeine, though a lot of people have this with their caffeine. And just open it up and take it like a shot. Again, I'm a big fan. I take it with my medication for ADHD, with my antidepressants and things like that. I've spoken to my doctor to make sure that that was good, so make sure to speak with your doctor before you add anything new to your regimen. And yeah, you can find a discount code down below. You should definitely try it out, and hopefully you enjoy it as much as I do, and let me know. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I really appreciate it. Now, let's get on to the video. Okay, so if you've seen my previous finance videos, you know what kind of system I use. I use an Excel sheet to manage all of my finances, and I use the same template that I've used for years. And I actually got it from adhd many years ago, but I adapted it to fit my own style and what I like. I like seeing simple numbers. I don't want to make it pretty. I don't need to make it anything crazy. I just want it to make sense so I can get my work done. So let's go over what I spent in March as a 27-year-old woman who owns a home and has a partner and a car and all that, those things, and a job. So I'm gonna screenshot and it'll be popping up here on the screen somewhere, and we'll go through it together. So first, I'm just gonna go over how my budget works. So before we get started, let's talk about where you can find the template. You can find the template down below. If you use it, I'd love if you could give me a subscribe and a like, and that would be really great. And comment down below if you're using it or if you have any questions or anything like that. But let's get started. Okay, first of all, this is what my budget looks like. It usually goes the whole year, but I've hidden those columns just to make it a little bit simpler. So at the top, we have all of our income. So that includes my job, any leftover money from last month that I didn't use. I have AdSense sometimes. It hasn't been coming in every month, but this month I got some from the past few months. There was a little bit of savings, or not, these aren't from savings. This was like interest awarded to me by my bank. And then extra was just like other random amounts of money that I ended up transferring into my account that I will probably explain why later on. So everything in the income column will add up by itself using like codes that I put here. So if you don't mess with the code, you can use this and it will automatically sum up everything that's in your income columns. The next section is monthly. So these are all things that I pay monthly. That includes things like credit cards, student loans, and that's what I have here. So grown-ish is what I call this section for years, and it's my savings, it's my phone if I need to pay it, my car insurance if I need to pay it, and then under other, it's just other things that I like to spend. So again, all of these different sections will sum up. So the total after expenses is this minus these things. So that's what we end up with after I spend my monthly things. and then so on until you get to the bottom and it says $715 left over. And at the bottom, I use a few different types of cards. I use my debit card for a lot of things, but I also use my credit cards for a lot of things, just for points and if it makes sense. And this section here is called consumables. Consumables are things that I like to spend money on that aren't like credit card bills and things like that. This could include food, this could include things for my pets, this could include clothing, just different things. And so I like to list out what I pay for and bought, and so I can see directly where my money is going. So this is honestly how I spent my money. This might not be the case for other people, but this is the case for me. So I went to Target and I spent $45 there, and then $9.38 another day. I had to pay off a Nordstrom card that I got, and then I returned the item, but they charged me anyway, something happened there and I owed them $94. And an Amazon purchase, PayPal purchase, again, Amazon, Whole Foods, all these different things. And then I went shopping at Abercrombie. So that's what I spent this month, but I'm going to show you my credit card. So as you can see up here, I made some spending on my credit cards. So our car broke down very unexpectedly and we had to buy a new car. And I ended up paying for that on my credit card, my Barclays card, and I think I had some other spending on my Chase card. So we're going to take a look at that. So I ended up spending quite a bit of money on my Barclays card. The main expenses were my $3,000 expense at Ford. I also had some Amazon purchases. I donated to a GoFundMe. You can see that I made my payment pretty quickly on right before March. And then Jake and I went to a restaurant in our area. I bought some jewelry for my new niece from Tuba Jewelry. I think I had to post something, so that was $9. Jake and I had Little Caesars one night. The American charge is for my dog. He flies with me, so that's how much it was to fly him with me. I spent a few dollars the next few days because I was in Arizona taking care of my sister and her new baby. And that's what these next charges are, just little things that I paid for. The next thing I did was I flew to California from Arizona, and again, I had to pay for my dog to fly with me. After that, I had a rental car from Tucson to Phoenix, and I had to buy gas to fill up the car before I returned it. That's what we have here. There's a dollar charge for the rental car, and one more payment to fly back to DC from California. So $125. This little fella next to me is very expensive. And then there was an order from Yelp, had a snack at LAX, and then $81 on groceries for Little. So that's what I spent on my credit card this month. Some of the payment that I'm going to make to cover that is going to be in April, which is now, so I probably already paid it off. But that's what I spent on my credit card in March. So since I just spent more than $3,000 in March on my Barclays card, this is the additional amount that I spent traveling and going from Arizona and things like that. I also put in $304 to my home payment. I just happened to put that much in that month. That goes to our joint account. Me and Jake have a separate joint account, so this is all my spending of my personal money. I put in $1,500 to my savings that month, and again, my consumables came out to $408.81, even though I had budgeted $578. On March 15th, so I had $883 left over from my budgeted amount, and then I had $121 come in, I think, through PayPal. So again, home payment, Barclays and Chase, just a few charges there. And then my consumables, I actually only spent $328 out of $600. And then I put $1,000 into travel because as some of you may know, my dad is very sick and he's in California, and that's why I've been going to California so much. So I have to save a lot for travel in order to be able to visit him and take care of my family. So that's why I've been spending so much on travel and bringing my dog with me. Again, as you saw, some of these things that, so I had to get gas, I got sushis, I had some toll roads, just a lot of basic things that you need as a 27-year-old. And so that's kind of how you use the budget. I'm going to show you another example of the budget just to kind of show you guys how you can use it. Something I like about this specific budget and why it helps me as someone who's like neurodivergent and I forget things and I get bored of things and I have brain fog and just all these different things is a specific like routine that I like to do, and that my budget provides that for me. It's simple, it's straight to the point, and yeah. So the first things that we do is add in our jobs. So if you want to use this for your joint family budget, that's great. You can put yours and your partner's income in, but let's say this is just yours. Let's say you work 2 jobs, okay? One job you make $1,200 and the other one you make $300 per paycheck. So, and let's say that's a stable income. So you make, that's not right. Oh, no, that is right. I just did it wrong. Okay, so let's say your total income per month is $3,000 or $1,500 each paycheck.
Here's what...
Quiet, Siri. Okay, I had to pause because I ran out of space. But let's continue here. Let's say your rent is, let's say that you're a student and you rent with someone else. Let's say you have a $1,000 rent and you share a room with someone. You don't have to pay taxes because it's taken out from your paycheck. Let's say you drive a car and you spend about, let's say $40 per month on your car. As you can see here, that you'll see that the numbers down here are going down, and that's because the numbers are being subtracted. Let's say I use Mint Mobile, which I use as my phone service. Mint Mobile is this really cheap service that Ryan Reynolds shills, and it's great. You guys should try it out. I pay, I think, like $30 for unlimited data per month. I think it's $360 per year that I pay, and that's just incredibly cheap. I have a code down below. You should use it if you're interested in trying it out. Again, I really like it, and big fan. They don't pay me to do anything, but I do get a little perk if you use my code. So I would definitely check that out if you want cheaper phone service. So let's say you use the 15 gig plan, which I think is like 20 bucks per month. But again, if you pay by year, it's cheaper. Your Wi-Fi, you give in $12 because you split with your roommates. You don't have student loans yet, but you do have a credit card that you pay the minimum on. Your Netflix account, because you need to Netflix and chill and such, is probably $9 now. What is it? And your consumables, let's say you spend $180 per 2-week period. And let's say you want to travel home sometimes to visit your family, $200. So let's have some savings in there, because just because you're a student doesn't mean that you can't save some money. Oh, $3,000, imagine. It'd be great. Okay, so let's say, so once you have put your budget in for that term, I would copy this, open another column. Here we go. So what we're going to do is copy and paste. We're going to change this part to Jan 1 actual. So this is what you actually end up spending. So let's delete these things because you actually haven't spent them yet. So you would go in here on January 15th to calculate everything that you've spent. So let's say that you actually got a bonus. So you could add a bonus section here. Let's say you got a bonus of $100. So now you actually made $160 instead of your budgeted $1,500. Okay, let's say your rent was $1,000 as we expected. You ended up having to spend $50 on gas that term. You paid your bill, you paid your Wi-Fi part, you paid your Discover, you paid your Netflix. You moved your money into savings, which I would move your money into savings that you budgeted right at the start of the month so that you don't end up spending it. And your consumables, you actually ended up spending $240 because you went crazy. And okay, so you paid $36 into your Discover, you paid $9 for Netflix, and then you moved $200 to your savings account. You ended up spending $200 on consumables because you went a little wild with your money and bought too much snacks after studying. So let's say, so now you have $770 left over that you didn't expect because you had that extra bonus. Now let's decide where to move that into. Let's move it into travel because we had to cut that down a little bit, and we're gonna put $109 there. So we have some extra money to move in there. So that's how you use this budget. I use it for the whole year. I just set it up. I also want to share now some of my favorite tips that make this even easier for you. So what I like to do on mine is I will often add links to the specific websites where I need to make payments, because my passwords folder and like everything, everywhere I keep stuff, I can never find the links, I can never find my password because they're always making me change my password. So something that helps me is I change, so for example here at Rent, I would hyperlink it. How do I hyperlink? So I would add a link here, so insert link, and then maybe I might put the people who, I put the website of I put the website that I pay my rent on. So that's what I would do there. Let's say gas, so I would put in like Pepco, whoever your gas, I just put the login page there. I drop it in as a link. And something you can also do is if you forget your passwords easily, now don't share this with other people because that's probably not good because they probably use it. I will add a comment with my password, username, and then password. That way I can just find it easily by just hovering over. So that's something I like to do that makes it easier for me not to lose my passwords and to know where they are and not be struggling to find them and spending forever doing that. Again, I'll do that for my like Discover card, my Netflix, just all that stuff, and that really helps me stay organized. I also like to keep this as a bookmark on my browser so that I don't forget about it, especially if you're just starting out budgeting. It can be so hard to stick to it, but if you put it as a bookmark on your bookmark toolbar and make it easily accessible and something that you see often, that definitely helps. Something also that I like is I like to have the Google Drive app on my phone so I can access it whenever I want. It's easy to access. The fact that as the person who I am, a little neurodivergent, a little funny, if I don't see something, I will not think about it. Like if I don't see that like my budget app or whatever, I will just forget about it and I'll never do it. So having it as an app or having it on my bookmark bar, barbecue, allows you to see it and remember it and do it. Thank you so much for watching this. Hopefully it helped you in some way. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. I'd love to help out. Again, if you want cheaper phone service, check out my mobile down below. I love it and it's very inexpensive. If you would like something else that I recently created for my husband and I is a joint budget for us to like that has our mortgage payments, our gas, electric, things like that, that has our car payment on it, that has joint savings. If you are interested in seeing a video about how I organize my partners and my budget and our shared money, definitely let me know and maybe I'll do a video on it. Again, I want to thank you so much for watching and I want to thank you so much for supporting me. Don't forget to check out Magicmine down below. Again, I'm a huge fan of them. You should definitely check them out and see if it's something that's right for you. My camera got too hot. Again, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support. Let me know if you have any questions down below. If you're neurodivergent like me, let me know if you have any tips that would help you or that help you stay on track of your finances, because I know it can be very hard when you have so much going on. Thanks so much everyone for watching.